I like to lay my guns out, do a little model shoot with them, show some of the highlights of them, some of the things that I like. There's that gold trigger. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's Kelly. Today we're going to do another gun review. Today we broke out the old MARLIN gold trigger model 336 3030 lever action. Isn't that cool? Don't know where the old sticker come from, but it does have the 100-year button still in the stock there. Isn't that a beaut? Again, it's not in great condition. It's been used. It's got some pretty good scratches on it. The bluing, the metal looks pretty good. There is some wear, but she's smooth and she's sweet. Opening scene there, you see me fire off a couple shots. YouTube's a little funny on some of those things. Need to be a little bit careful, but we're going to try it. Fire off a couple shots of some of these old things, let you see them. This is a gun that I hold pretty close to my heart. I cherish it pretty good because I grew up with a fellow who's one of my daddy's friends, and he took the very first time I ever went deer hunting. He took me deer hunting, and one of his prized possessions was his lever action 3030. You thought that man had a whole arsenal at his disposal, and he had a lever action 3030. My mom and dad were friends with him and his wife, and he taught me into going deer hunting with him. I wasn't real crazy about killing animals, soft-hearted, still am. And I took my daddy's bolt action 410 shotgun with slugs in it, 3-inch slugs and a 410. Probably wasn't going to be real effective. I don't know if I had the heart to pull the trigger on a deer anyway. Back then I was pretty soft-hearted. Again, pretty soft-hearted still today. But anyway, we went deer hunting. Went to Walmart. Daddy bought me some 3-inch slugs for that thing. Bought me a camouflage long sleeve t-shirt. I think I had a pair of old camouflage Army type camouflage pants that I'd had, and that's what I wore. We went out early, got up early that next morning. Man, the wee hours of the morning. He had an old Chevrolet manual transmission. Had, I think, a 327 in it. We eased, creaked down in the woods, and I sat beside that tree out there. About froze to death that morning. And we deer hunted. I think I was kicking and stomping and moving around. There was a story to it I can't remember. But it was Billy Clayton and Amy Clayton's dad, and I can't remember his name. Wasn't Gerald Clayton. Dale Clayton. That was his name, Dale Clayton. From up around Paris, Tennessee, if you know him. He's the first one that ever took me deer hunting. What a great time. And he had his, and I think it was a gold trigger Marlin 3030. That's what he went with, and had stories of it. And I remember in his house, behind his table there, he had that thing hanging in one of those old wooden racks, you know, with just a couple of cutouts. You stuck a couple nails in the wall and you hung two guns on it. That's where he kept that thing, and it was one of his prized, treasured guns. So Dale Clayton, I think he's long gone now, but Dale Clayton, this is a shout out to you, my boy. Thank you for taking me deer hunting that very first time. And if Billy or Amy, if y'all see this, know that I'll hold your dad in very high esteem. Always have, always will. Your mom too. I believe her name was Judy. So Dale and Judy Clayton. So anyway, this is my 3030. I come across this thing in a trade. A guy that works for me, love the old white on the button right there. A guy that works for me was looking for something of a better rifle than what he had. He said he had a lever action 3030. He wasn't real sure about it, but he wants something he thought maybe more powerful, something better. And I said, and at the time I had an old Japanese made Weatherby 7mm Magnum. Now, apples to apples, oranges to orange, it was a Japanese made Weatherby 7mm Magnum. Even to this day, that rifle's probably worth more than this one. But I knew that I had an opportunity to get what I wanted, and this one it's the 100th anniversary. So that puts it, what, 1976. My old eyes can't see that button very well. Old guy cheat, take your cell phone, makes you a magnifying glass. 1970. So it was 1870, I guess, is the anniversary for Marlin. I didn't do my research, obviously. My apologies. I'm out here speaking ignorantly, but you get my point. This is 1970 model, 1970 button is still in there. A lot of these I've seen, that button is still gone, so that just upped the value, and Kyle was pretty happy to trade with me. Again, he probably got the better end of the deal. I think there was 4 or 5 boxes of shells for that thing, and 7mm Magnum shells aren't cheap. So I think he probably got the better end of the deal, but I got something that I really wanted. Talk about my gun collection. A lot of the time people said, hey man, would you ever, you know, think of parting with this, parting with that? The answer is always yes. I don't fall in love with any of these things, but there's 3 or 4 that I would hold on to, and this one I'll hold on to throughout. I got this Big Mama's 016 gauge. You guys should have seen, you can go back and look at the video on that. My Papaw's old breech loader rifle, you're going to see a video about that thing, and there's 1 or 2 more, but those ones, probably 5 or 6, maybe 5 or 6, I would not get rid of unless times were dire and people were hungry. We understand those things. So just to buy and sell, I wouldn't get rid of any of these anytime soon. This is the steel that you've seen me shoot, and if you look, the one I just shot is kind of right there and kind of right there, and they do look a little different. They don't look like they did anymore. The rest of those have been done by AR-15, but they don't look like they don't look like the other AR-15 shells. Of course, this is a 30 caliber rifle, so it may hit a little bit different, but it looked like it did disturb that steel. That's an AR-500 target, but it looks like it did disturb that steel a little more than the other ones. There's some gun novices on YouTube that may not know what I meant a while ago when I said lever action. If you have a gun that shoots more than 1 round without having to reload it every time, you've got to get into an act, unless it's a semi-automatic, which it automatically will cycle the old shell casing out and bring a fresh shell in. After you pull the trigger, it has an automatic cycle. They call it semi-auto. So if it's not auto or semi-auto, you got to manually work that thing somehow. Some rifles have what's called a bolt action. You actually have an arm that would hang off the side. You lift it up, slide it back, it kicks the old shell out, the casing out, allows a new one to pop up, and the bolt picks that new one up and pushes it into the chamber and gets it ready to fire. Some shotguns, you would have a pump, which means you would pull the trigger, bang, you'd pump down, pump it back up, it cycles the old hole out, the new one in, and then it gets it into battery ready to fire. This is a lever action, which means exactly what I said. It has a lever on it, and you actually put your hand in there, push it down. That allows the mechanism to come back. It will pick up a new shell in there, cycle it in. This one has a hammer. You pull the trigger and the hammer closes. Hammer, that's another word. You heard that on Big Mama's old shotgun. It's got a hammer. But that one, when you load a shell in it, you got to manually cock the hammer back. This one, the bolt slides back and engages the hammer, and it automatically pulls the hammer down for you. So just do a little research on that stuff. I'm probably butchering it pretty bad, but you kind of get the point there. Okay, what's a 30-30 good for these days? Not a lot. The 30-30s have killed millions of white-tailed deer, probably mule deer, all over the world. Many kind of animals, I'm sure. There's a lot of things you could hunt with them. But in today's modern calibers, 30-30 is really bringing up the rear. I don't know what I'll have to add at the bottom here what the suggested range is for these things, for what particular animal. I'm gonna say around 100 yards, 100 to 150 yards max for a good sized white-tailed deer. If you can get them in that close, if you can hit them right in the right spot, it'll drop them pretty good. You're probably gonna have to run a blood trail, but 30-30 will get you there. But a 30-30 out 200 or 300 yards, don't think it'll ever do it. I could be wrong. If you have those stories, leave a comment below. Let me know about them. How far out have you shot something and actually made a good kill, a clean kill with a 30-30? Again, they've killed millions of deer. I know in the Southeast, 30-30 is a famous caliber, a famous old rifle. You got a 30-30 lever action. But the ballistics, I think, are down a little bit on it. Again, compared to modern calibers, you know, your 300 Win Mags, your 308s, 30-06s and all that. 30-30 is kind of a little brother. But hey, it'll probably get the job done. So I'm not going to discount it too much, but it doesn't keep up with some of the more modern calibers. Now, I'm going to get into something that could be a tricky part. What do y'all think this old 3030 is worth? It does have a rail for an optic on there. It was on it when I bought it. I'm going to leave it on there because I'm scared if I take it off, it could be kind of ugly up under there, and I don't want that. Again, it is the gold trigger. It's the 100th anniversary. Still has the button attached. What do you think this thing's worth? End of the barrel. I'm just looking at a camera. Nothing on the back side. Safe always. End of the barrel is in pretty good shape. A lot of the time, I'll say the end of the barrel, guys will get in their old pickup trucks and lay their rifle down in the passenger seat with the barrel down, and the end of the floorboard will beat that thing up. And this one really does. You don't have that. Or even in a gun case, carrying it in a gun case will wear the end out. There's a little bluing wear on it. It's been carried, but it's not beat up, so it hadn't been just thrown in the floorboard and all that. And the buttstock is in pretty good shape. I say it's got the factory screws in it. A little discoloration on it, but it's probably just dirtier than I like for it to be, but I don't want to clean on it too much because I don't want to mess up the look of it. I don't want to mess up what it's got. So yeah, so that's my 3030. I'm going to put some other pictures. You probably have already seen some other pictures of it that I put in there, some facts, some specifications, manufacturings, dates, numbers, that type of thing. I like to add those in my videos. Something for you to read as you're going, that way you don't get tired of my voice or my pretty face. So, but anyway, that's my Marlin 3030. Proud of it. Dale Clayton, again, I appreciate you. You guys, I'm trying to build this YouTube channel up, so don't forget to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Leave me a comment. It's not hard. Leave me a thumbs up in the comment. Give me a thumbs up. Anything will help. So appreciate it. Doing just fine, one. I'm Kelly. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Two shells, you ready?